A clay tablet, unearthed in 1947 beneath the rubbled foundations of ancient Eridu, bears 17 lines of cuneiform script. The final line reads, "They climbed to where heaven kisses the earth. None returned. Their robes lay empty on the topmost terrace, still warm." What ancient civilization recorded its own priests vanishing into thin air, and why did mainstream archaeology bury this account? For over 70 years? 045, 130. Set up? When? Where? Who? Dread. Southern Mesopotamia. Circa 2100 BCE. The city of Eridu rises from the marshlands where the Persian Gulf once lapped against river delta. Here, according to Sumerian tradition, the god Enki established humanity's first dwelling. At its heart stands the Temple of Abzu, a ziggurat dedicated to the freshwater ocean beneath the earth. 7 terraces climb toward heaven. 7 levels of brick, each painted in sacred colors. The structure measures 60 meters square at its base, 30 meters tall. For centuries, priests climbed these stairs at dawn, bearing offerings. Then, according to tablets found nearby, they stopped climbing. In December 1946, archaeologist Fuad Safar excavates the lowest levels. His team uncovers a layer of burnt brick unlike anything else in the structure. Within the ash, they find 17 bronze ceremonial ladles, all bent inward, as if melted from extreme heat. More ziggurat, each ladle points toward the ziggurat's upper terraces. No explanation satisfies the dig team. Safar notes in his 1949 field journal, "The thermal damage suggests temperatures exceeding 800 degrees Celsius, concentrated entirely on the western face. Curiously, no corresponding damage appears on adjacent structures." He never publishes this observation. It vanishes from his final report. Decades later, in 1989, satellite imaging reveals what ground-level archaeologists missed. The ziggurat's shadow falls differently at solstice. From above, the structure's footprint traces an impossible geometry, not a simple square, but a shape resembling stepped pyramids within stepped pyramids. 3 concentric squares, each rotated 7 degrees counterclockwise. Dr. Jennifer Weston, archaeoastronomer at Cambridge, publishes a controversial paper. The builders encoded astronomical coordinates into the structure's bones. The outermost square aligns with the winter solstice sunrise. The innermost aligns with nothing we recognize. She dies in a car accident 2 years later. Her paper disappears from academic databases for 11 years. The Iraqi Department of Antiquities launches a limited survey in 1952. Inspector General Sami Mahdi leads the team. His report, partially declassified in 2018, contains a passage that contradicts the published excavation notes. Upon ascending to the 4th terrace, workers reported an unusual acoustic phenomenon. A persistent, low-frequency hum emanated from the structure's core. The sound ceased when wind exceeded 15 kilometers per hour. Mr. Safar insisted we document nothing further. Mahdi's handwritten marginalia adds, "I heard it myself. The building was breathing." The report concludes with a single damning sentence. Recommend permanent closure of site to further excavation. Ground-penetrating radar conducted in 2003 reveals the impossible. A hollow chamber exists beneath the temple's foundation, but it shouldn't. The surrounding soil shows no disturbance patterns consistent with intentional construction. The chamber appears to predate the ziggurat by approximately 800 years. Its dimensions perfectly spherical, 11 meters in diameter, match no known Mesopotamian burial or storage practice. Thermal imaging shows this chamber maintains a constant temperature of exactly 37 degrees Celsius year-round. Human body temperature. Dr. Hassan Abdul Qadir, who conducted the survey, wrote in his notes, "Something down there has been warm for 3,000 years. No natural explanation exists. Archaeology offers comfortable theories. Perhaps the priest died in a fire, though no remains were ever found. Perhaps the vanishing refers to political exile, not literal disappearance. Perhaps the entire account is metaphorical, describing priests who ascended to the afterlife." Dr. Robert Morgan, in his 2008 synthesis of Eridu scholarship, dismisses the cuneiform account as temple propaganda designed to elevate the priestly class's spiritual authority. He acknowledges the thermal anomaly but attributes it to geological factors. He does not explain why those factors were never documented. He does not explain the bent ladles. He does not explain why the site was sealed. 3 details haunt researchers who dig deeper. First, the 17 priest names are recorded sequentially in the tablet, but 12 names are written backward, as if seen in a mirror. Second, An Akkadian text, translated only in 2011, describes the priests not as ascending but as being pulled through the topmost terrace. Third and most disturbing, a Sumerian cylinder seal depicts the ziggurat's final moments. 7 figures stand on the top terrace. Above them, a hand extends from a cloud. The hand has 6 fingers. Human hands have 5. No Mesopotamian deity is ever described with 6 fingers except one. The Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation epic, describes Marduk as 6-eyed, 6-tongued, breathing fire. The priests may not have vanished into nothing. They may have vanished into something. What if the ziggurat was never meant as a temple at all? What if it functioned as a beacon or a doorway? The Abzu, the primordial freshwater ocean, was understood by Mesopotamians as the domain of Enki, god of wisdom and magic. Enki's symbol was the looped cross, the Shem. Ancient texts describe this symbol as a key to the house of knowledge. What if the ziggurat's 7 terraces represented not religious hierarchy, but 7 thresholds? What if the priests were not worshipping but experimenting? The thermal signature beneath the structure matches nothing geological. It matches everything we would expect from an artificially maintained environment, an environment designed to preserve something. Or someone. 645-8. Modern echo plus open question. Calm. The site of Eridu remains, partially buried today. A concrete shelter covers the excavation, but no archaeologists have worked there since 1981. The Iraqi government sealed it after a structural instability incident that killed one worker, though official reports never specify what caused the instability. Satellite imagery from 2019 shows the shelter has shifted, its concrete blocks now arranged in a pattern resembling the concentric squares, visible from above. Coincidence? Say engineers. Coincidence? Say archaeologists. But the question persists, carved into that original clay tablet nearly 4,000 years ago. What touches the sky? And what touches back? Open question. We can verify the tablet's existence. We can measure the thermal anomaly. We can trace the shadow geometry. But we cannot explain why 17 men walked up a staircase and never walked down. Was it divine intervention? Scientific phenomenon beyond our current understanding? Or something our ancient ancestors witnessed but lacked vocabulary to describe except in the language of gods and ladders reaching toward heaven? Next episode tease. Next week on Phantom Atlas. In the mountains of southeastern Turkey, archaeologists uncovered a 12,000-year-old site called Göbekli Tepe. Predating all known civilizations, it features T-shaped pillars arranged in circles, pillars that some researchers believe depict figures being extracted from the earth. Stone Age engineers built a monument to creation. But whose creation? And why do the figures look so terrified?